Hello, my name is Alexis, and this is my response to the Lesson 8 video reflection analysis. So, for the first prompt, the assignment asks to defend the first step in the five-step decision-making model and explain why it's the most important. So, the five-step decision-making model has obviously five steps. The first one, and the most important one, define the problem. The second one is identify and weight decision criteria. The third is to generate alternatives. The fourth is to rate the alternatives. And the fifth is to choose, implement, and evaluate the decision. So the first step is the most important because it basically sets a focus point on what we have to fix. So in other words, the the main point that we're going to focus on. If we don't define the problem with the issue that we are focusing on, then we can't solve it. This doesn't just apply to a business, but in life overall. If you want to improve in one specific area because you made a mistake, for example, you first got to identify the problem, identify the mistake, and then work to fix it, which is the main reason why the first problem, the first step on the five-step decision decision model on the five-step model is the most important one. The second prompt for the assignment asks, in what kind of, the first question that it asks is, in what kind of work situations would satisficing be appropriate? And first of all, what's satisficing? Satisficing, according to the book, is the process for making decisions in which we stop looking for a perfect choice, but instead we just settle down for an appropriate, for an acceptable choice. So instead of spending more time focusing and trying to be perfect, we instead just settle down for a sort of good enough uh, result. So that would be satisfying. Now, where would it be appropriate? It could be appropriate choosing a when choosing a team member, for example. If you just look for someone that fits the criteria that you're kind of looking for, then you could I definitely encourage to keep looking for a perfect partner, but it is not necessary. It is not something that you should waste all of your time doing, and instead you should just pick someone that's adequate or acceptable and stick to that person, and then you could work together and use the and just keep on going from there. Now, it also asks the prompt also asks another question asking to list at least three occupations or industries where satisficing would not be appropriate. And first thing that comes to mind is any type of company that's trying to pick a CEO or or someone that's going to be working in a higher ups, that's going to in the higher ups, a powerful position, so to say. It then we shouldn't aim for adequate because they're kind of like keystone species to an environment. They are important roles. If that role goes poorly, then the whole company could be affected. Profits could go down, jobs could be lost, etc., etc. It shouldn't be something taken slightly. Another um example, and similar to the example given in the book, would be in the sorry about that, pharmaceutical industry. If you're going to give someone let's say, for example, 300 milligrams of a specific medicine, it should be exactly 300 milligrams as dictated by the recipe or whatever type of method you're following. It should be exactly how much is appointed to the person. Any more or any less could potentially harm, or worst case scenario, could kill the person that we're talking about. They should satisficing should not be used in the pharmaceutical industry under any type of circumstance. The third work or job that in which satisficing wouldn't be it's not a good idea to use satisficing would be, in my opinion, engineering. And specifically, whenever designing a house or a building or some place that people are gonna work and live on and live in. This should be taken with the utmost care, and it should be it should be perfect. It shouldn't be just adequate, because any small mistake could lead to the building either collapsing or the house falling down, or it could possibly not support the amount of people that it's originally meant to support. It could cause a lot of harm and a lot of lives to be lost, and this should be taken with the utmost care, and it should be perfected before actually implementing whatever the engineer is trying to execute. The third prompt for this assignment asks the difference between creativity and innovation. Now, after reading the chapter, I could say that both of these are extremely similar. Extremely similar. So, the main difference is that creativity mostly focuses on the generation of meaningful ideas, and that's about it. That's everything that I've seen from the book for now. So, innovation is the creation of a new product or service. Now, in my opinion, I believe that innovation part slightly comes with create a little bit of creativity. You require creativity to expand in a business and to create new products, new services, etc., so on and so forth. Um, but according to the definitions given by the book, I could see how it is possible to innovate without you being creative, since they are two extremely similar but slightly different points. Different enough so that I can basically be innovative without being creative, since, like I said, they creativity is the generation of meaningful ideas, and innovation is the creation or development of a new product or service. I believe you could be creative without being innovative, but I don't see how you could be innovative without being creative, since to me, in the process of creating a new idea or a new product, you a, a new product is a better way of saying it. When you're creating a new product, you first need the idea, the thought of this product. What's it gonna do? How's it gonna work? Then, by discussing this idea or this thought, it could be then be changed either by yourself or in a team, as the book implies too, and it could be developed into the new product or service. Now, it can't really go the other way around, since innovation is the development of a new product or service. And if you don't have an idea or a thought or a discussion about a new product, then it's very or in other words, if you don't have creativity to create the creativity necessary to create a new product or a new service, then you won't be innovative because you can't develop that new product or that new service. So, in my opinion, it is not possible to be innovative without being creative, but it is possible to be creative without being innovative, since also you could be creative, develop a new idea, a new thought. Then, as you're improving or working on that new thought, you then realize, maybe this wasn't worth it. Maybe this thought isn't going to benefit the company as much as I first expected. I'm gonna throw it aside. I'm not gonna use it anymore right now. But that could work. That thought, that idea, that creative thought that you used or that you discarded isn't necessarily discarded. It could better be used as a base for a possible future new product or new belief. So yeah, in the end, I do believe that you can be creative without being innovative, but you can't be innovative without being creative, since it kind of the process for being innovative, in my opinion, kind of interlaps with create the process of being creative. The fourth and final prompt asks, under what circumstances would I choose a job candidate who has exhibited more creative potential but lacked creative experiences over a candidate who is exactly the opposite and experience more practice creativity rather than creative potential? I'm sorry. Um, I believe I messed that one up earlier. Um, so first of all, what is creative potential? Creative potential would be the possibility to not to implement, to create or generate or think of new ideas in a workplace. And in contrast to creativity experience. I'm sorry, practice creativity. I messed that one up there. Um, Practice creativity is the ability to implement or find a place to use these said skills in the workplace. Now, let's focus on the first part of the question first. It asks, where would a candidate with creative potential be useful? So, creative potential, it could be useful whenever trying to implement a new, whenever we are already focused in a part of a, so okay, what do I mean by in a part of a problem? What do I mean by this? Let's say, for example, there are pretty bad bathroom policies in the company. What what do we do? Someone with creative potential could generate a new idea for this problem so that we could directly implement it in there. So, for example, they could say you have the ability to use the bathroom once every 50 minutes. So to say, that could be that could be a situation where creative potential is more useful than creative experience because we already have a set location for this policy to be implemented on, but we don't have the policy exactly. Now, um, yeah, that would be the first part of the question, and where would potential creativity be more useful than creative experience? In contrast, the second question for the fourth prompt asks the exact opposite of the first. Under what organizational circumstances would you choose to candidate and with obvious practice creativity skills over someone with creative potential? Now, I personally believe that practice creativity directly is kind of needs creative potential to work efficiently. But let's focusing more on the question. The question asks, where would practice creativity be more useful than creative potential? And I believe that would be some type of job that requires um somebody to enforce something, such as, let's say, a manager. I'm gonna give a very simple example. A manager that needs to enforce policies, and specifically, the manager could enforce the creative skills developed by the creative potential. Now, what do I mean by this? By this, I mean that this manager could influence the workers to do a better job, not just by enforcing policies, but by influencing the creative skills that the company has already come up with. Now, this, like I said, the best thing possible, the best outcome would be for both for a team of people to both have, or one single person or an individual, it doesn't really matter, to have both a healthy amount of creative potential and a healthy amount of creative skills. I do believe that creative potential is more important than creative skills, but there's no point in creating something new or a new creative skill if there isn't a specific point where it can be implemented on. So, therefore, they are both dependent, both points are dependent on each other. But yeah, answering the second question specifically, I believe a manager could enforce creative skills developed by the company to both influence and support their work members to do a better job overall. And there wouldn't be any need for creative potential because the policies or the plans have already been come up with, so there's no need for new ideas at the moment. That would be it. That's everything for my presentation. Thank you very much.